So, dude, you're going to f things up. So nobody's perfect. Warren Buffett has plenty of failures, and he f up so many things in the stock market. He did. Look at the whole situation with Wells Fargo. Look what he did with Wells Fargo. I made better money on Wells Fargo than Warren Buffett did, because I was buying it when he was dumping it, and it was down 30% that day, because he just got pissed off and he made an emotional decision, and he's like, you know what, f them, and I don't want to be associated with this stock anymore. And he dumped a huge amount of the stock, and it went down to like $22 or something like that, $22. And a week later, it was $30, and I sold it. And it was that easy. It's like, Warren was throwing it away and driving the stock price down because he has such volume. He's putting massive downward pricing pressure on the stock. And I didn't want to hold the stock long term either, but I think I felt like I understood what was happening at the time. And it was literally a week or something later. You have to look at the charts. It's over 5 years ago. This would be middle of 2020. It went from like $21, $22 to like $30 in like a week or so. And I was like, thanks, Uncle Warren. But he has ups too. It's like, is that a major up for him? I mean, kind of. It's a lot of money. If he would have sold it at a slower pace and didn't just, you own a massive part of the company and say, sell all.
Market order.
Yeah, market price, sell all. Yeah, if he would have pressed, that's true. If he would have pressed limit order instead, or if he would have done it, all right, we're going to divest from this over the next 30 days. Bing, 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 bing. Then that wouldn't have happened. So Warren's still doing a lot better than me. Like, I'm not poking at him. I know he's watching. I'm sure he watches every video. At age 95, I'm sure he's got nothing else to do with the remaining months of his life. But, nobody's perfect, dude. Ray Dalio, this will help you have permission to f up your timing. It's like, Ray Dalio made Bridgewater. I don't know, he had 20-some billion at one time. I don't know what his net worth is at the moment. He says it's easier to get an Olympic gold medal than to have your market timing, consistently good. He don't say perfect. He just like, it's easier to have an Olympic gold medal. And if you think about the math, this is true. There are more people that have Olympic gold medals in various endeavors than there are investors who had, relatively pristine market timing. So it's harder. It's true. So when you buy something and it's like, I bought the thing and it went down 2% that day. That's life. I bought the thing and it went down another 2% immediately. Better off if I did nothing. That's probably true. At that moment, that's true. So don't deny that reality. But also don't beat yourself up about it too much. It's like, well, how would you know that? How would you know that? And does that change your thesis for the bigger picture, for the midterm or long-term investment thesis that you had, which induced you to buy the thing to begin with? So, there's nothing wrong with my thesis. Still holds. Isn't contrary to my midterm, long-term thesis. Well, that's just unfortunate. Then I wish I bought it later in the day. That's life. But don't dwell on those things. Like, give yourself permission to be like, all right, how would I have known to do different or better? All right. If it's just something that happened, then it happened. Like, there's some things you can fix. Another thing Randy would say is to focus on the things that you have control to fix. And I said that too in different words. So those are the things you got to focus on.
Something else that was also interesting that you mentioned was that even when you win as well, also analyze, was it luck? And if it was luck, make sure I'm not delusional enough that I'm not the best. And,
Nobody talks about that one. How many times, let me say different, how many of you guys haven't heard that thought or haven't heard other people say that type of thought? Nobody does that. It's very valuable, but nobody has the discipline to do that because they just rather think that, even me, my brain doesn't want to do that. I mean, your brain just wants to think oh, that was really bright. That was a very bright idea. I'm really glad I did that. That was smart. I had this thought. I did the thing. I got a great reward. Smart. Great. Good job, Derek. Great job. It's easier to think that than to actually look at the details and be like, all right, what elements of this, what was my original thesis? What was the original thesis? And what elements of this are on track that I was rewarded for that original thesis versus something changed in the macroeconomy and I got lucky on that one. And both things might be true. You might, some portion of the upside could be because you had a smart idea and it went that way. And then it could be that you had a brilliant idea, and if not for this other, negative externality rather than positive externality, you would have made even more money. You might have made money, but you might have made even more money. But there's other circumstances, and in that circumstance, you'd be like, well, how frequently would that negative externality be imposed? Is that like a, once every week type of thing, or is that a once every 50 years type of thing? How frequently would that come up? And that'll give you some information about how you might make a decision in the future. Or you think to yourself, well, if this positive thing didn't happen, I might have made 30%, but without this other catalyst without that short squeeze that really pushed things through the roof, I wasn't going to make 500%. I would have made 30% if not for that event. Could I have predicted that event? Did I predict that event with my original thesis? No. Could I have predicted that event along the way? Maybe yes, maybe no. But you have to ask yourself questions like that. And then you'll have more confidence in the future, real confidence, sincere confidence, like, you're like, all right, when another opportunity comes up, it'll give you a good, honest guide, an internal compass, if you will, of like, how enthusiastic should I be about this investment? What is a reasonable percentage of my net worth to put into this thing versus that thing versus the other thing? And if you don't do those things to kind of fact check yourself, or like, it's not fun for anybody. It's not fun for me to do either. You'd rather just think you're a genius and everything's perfect, But I think it's really important. You'll have better outcomes over time. And I like my outcomes more than I like my ego. I like my ego too. I think every guy likes their ego to some extent. And sometimes you got to play a mind game with yourself, where you play a game where you say like, hey, if I go do enough smart things, if I have the discipline to do enough things that I'm supposed to do, it's at any point in the future, if I do these things, I would have better outcomes. And as I have better outcomes, I could have an even bigger ego if I really wanted to. So you can do that and then laugh at yourself. But if you were smart enough to do the first part, you'd also be smart enough to never take yourself up on the bigger ego offer. You'd be like, well, let me just keep doing this. It's been working. And you would just have the same laugh with yourself, perhaps, of like, well, if I just keep doing that, then on the last day of my life, I could have a really big ego. I'll be the happiest guy on my deathbed. Be the happiest guy ever on my deathbed, because you did everything right for 80 years before that. You see, that's a silly thing that I'm saying, but it's also a useful thing at the same time. Like, you comprehend what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high-demand calendar for an in-person, one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you the pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser-focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.